Chapter 198. Weird. Let's back off a bit first. Carrying the battle boar, the axeman took dozens of steps back and jumped onto a high ground. He then hid behind a huge rock, staring at the pile of rocks without blinking. Boom! The blue light exploded. Hundreds of rocks were blown away like they were caught in a terrifying storm, shooting out in all directions. Danger! The axeman's face was pale. He dropped the battle boar and lied on the ground. The high ground looked like it had been hit by an earthquake, shaking violently. Looking from the cave, one could see that the high ground was full of holes, not much better than a hornet's nest. The only reason it was still standing was because of the huge amount of iron minerals that no one had discovered before. After a long time, the axeman crawled up from the ground. Looking at the high ground that was full of cracks, he could not help but be shocked. He subconsciously looked at the pile of rocks. The pile of rocks had disappeared, and what appeared in his sight was a pitch-black cave. The air outside the cave was like a wave. Pap! 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 Footsteps were heard, and a human figure walked out slowly. Finally reached the 10th level of the mysterious great art. The Zhenqi quality is indeed different. The human figure was indeed Yi Chen. He had been training in the cave, and had finally reached the 10th level of the mysterious great art. The 10th level of the mysterious Zhenqi was extremely powerful, much more powerful than the 9th level. Yi Chen started to wonder if the mysterious great art was really a mid-rank Earth Realm martial art. Why was it so much more powerful than normal mid-rank Earth Realm martial arts? Even the best ones should not have this kind of Zhenqi quality. Waving his hand, the pile of rocks on the ground were all shattered into dust. Yi Chen looked at the axeman. Did I hurt you just now? There was actually someone training in there. This person must be very powerful. The axeman stuttered, No. I am sorry for disturbing your training. I will leave now, please don't kill me. Even though Woodcutter hadn't gone out to wander before, he had heard from some passing practitioners that high-level practitioners were most afraid of people disturbing their cultivation. Once they were provoked, they would kill at the slightest provocation without mercy. The other party had a friendly expression, so it couldn't be a sign that he was about to kill someone, right? Yi Chen smiled. If it was a few days ago, I might have been very angry. Now, it doesn't count as disturbing me. Yi Chen wasn't joking. A few days ago was his opportunity to break through. If he was interrupted, he wouldn't kill anyone, but he would definitely be angry. As for the consequences of being angry, he didn't know. Oh! That's good. The woodcutter patted his chest and broke out in cold sweat. By the way, are you a woodcutter nearby? The woodcutter nodded. My house is in Huayang village, which is more than 20 miles away. It's not far from here. Usually, when I have nothing to do, I come here to hunt and share the meat with the villagers. Give it to the villagers. Yi Chen smiled. He could tell that the axeman was at the peak of Mortal Realm Stage 8. If he was outside, he would only be a commoner, but in a remote village, he would be considered as a powerful warrior. Not everyone had the opportunity to practice martial arts. I'm about to go down the mountain, let's go together. In a flash, Yi Chen appeared on the mountain path. Alright, wait for me. Carrying the red-eye battle boar, the woodcutter ran as fast as he could, following closely behind Yi Chen. To be able to talk to a powerful warrior, even if it was just walking with him, was already a rare thing. If the villagers knew about this, they would definitely worship him even more. After all, the most powerful warrior the villagers had ever seen was only a mid-condensing reality realm warrior. Judging from his chi, he was not even 1/10 as powerful as Yi Chen. The mountain was not very high, and the two soon reached the foot of the mountain. Yi Chen was about to leave, but he suddenly frowned. What's wrong? The woodcutter was a bit worried. He knew that Yi Chen was about to leave. Yi Chen said seriously, a very strong demonic chi, covering the sky and the ground. It doesn't look like a single beast, but more like a lot of beasts gathered together. A lot of beasts? The woodcutter froze for a second, then said in shock, "Isn't that a beast wave? Is there really going to be a beast wave this winter?" Yi-Chen looked at him. "Do you know what's going on?" The woodcutter shook his head, then nodded. 2 months ago, a warrior who was passing by told me that there would be a lot of beasts this winter. He told me to go to the city as soon as possible, or else I would lose my life. At that time, I thought he was joking. There hasn't been a beast wave in the past 300 years, how could it happen now? He was right, the beast wave is really coming. Yi-Chen looked up at the sky. The clear sky had started to darken, and there was a gray chi flow hovering above, forming huge dark clouds, covering the sky and moving towards them at an extremely fast speed. That horrifying aura even shocked Yi-Chen. "Not good, there are only normal people in the village, I have to go inform them now." "You are too slow, let me give you a ride." Grabbing the woodcutter's shoulder with his right hand, Yi-Chen extended his body and flew out like a huge bird. He said, "Point me in the right direction." "Thank you, this way." The woodcutter was very grateful. Yi-Chen was obviously a top-rank warrior, but he did not have any arrogance at all, which was completely different from what he remembered of top-rank warriors. Yi-Chen did not think too much about it. After coming to this world, he had already learned about the rule of power. But, he still had the mark of that world in his bones. If he ran into someone who needed help, and he had the power, he would not reject it. Otherwise, what would be the point of being a powerful warrior? Yi-Chen's speed was extremely fast, and within dozens of blinks, he had already traveled dozens of miles. Yeah! There are a lot of beasts in the sky. The beast wave was something that happened quite often in this true spirit continent. As for why it would happen, no one knew for sure. All they knew was that at a certain time, the beasts in a certain place would go crazy and start to attack the places where humans lived. The beasts that were closest to the place would undoubtedly arrive the fastest, especially the flying beasts. They were the ones that killed the most people in the early stages. "They are coming." The woodcutter raised his head to take a look. Not far away, the sky was covered in darkness. Among them were Class 3 demonic beasts, red smelting bird, blood crow, flamingo, Class 4 demonic beasts, twin-headed bird, four-clawed eagle, flying lizard, Class 5 demonic beasts, ghost-head eagle, winged wolf. There were too many of them. Any one of the flying demonic beasts could tear him into pieces. Tornado broken clouds. The Star Scar sword appeared in his hand as Yi-Chen threw out a sword attack towards the place with the most flying beasts. The next second, the tornado mixed with Jin Chi swept over with a whistling sound, and the sword Chi shot out. It didn't matter if it was the 3rd-grade flying demon beasts, the 4th-grade flying demon beasts, or the 5th-grade flying demon beasts, all of them fell from the sky one after another. It was as if a black rainstorm had fallen. He killed dozens of flying beasts with one sword attack. The woodcutter's eyes were wide open. He thought that Yi-Chen was only at early clasping Yuan realm, and would be able to compete with normal rank 5 beasts. But now, it seemed like even rank 6 beasts would not be able to compete with him. Plus, he looked so young, about the same age as his nephew. Actually, he had guessed it right. Yi-Chen's cultivation had not improved that much, but with the entry-level sword intent, plus the 10th level of the Great Mysterious Art, Yi-Chen's attacking power was already almost the same as the older late-clasping Yuan realm warriors. Right now, if Mr. Jin or Yuan Zonghua were to fight against him alone, he would have 70% chance to wound them badly, and 20% chance to kill them completely. Roar! A huge beast with wings on its back and eagle claws dove towards the two. Its speed soon surpassed the speed of sound, which was even faster than Yi-Chen. Not good. It is a rank 6 beast, the eagle tiger beast. In the city, one could buy a beginner beast book with 100 gold, which included all the beasts from rank 1 to 6. The eagle tiger beast was one of them, and its power could be ranked in the top 100. The woodcutter had bought one before and kept it in his house. Yi-Chen did not care too much about it. Compared to the winged wolf, this eagle tiger beast was way too weak. Judging from its chi, it was just like a normal late clasping Yuan realm warrior. Shocking cloud. With a sword attack, a thunderous sound was heard. Swoosh! The eagle-tiger beast came fast, but it died fast as well. Its head had been cut in half by the sword chi. It was killed just like that. The woodcutter's mouth was wide open. Soon, the two arrived at the village. The beast wave is coming. Everyone, go to the city. After landing on the ground, the woodcutter yelled out with all of his strength. What? The beast wave is coming. How is this possible? We haven't had a beast wave for 300 years. Brother Gao, are you kidding me? Yeah, although you are the #1 warrior in our village, you can't scare us like that. Hearing them, most of the energetic young men did not believe it. With one sword attack, Yichen cracked the small hill outside of the village, and said with a cold voice, if you don't want to die, go to the city. You won't be able to leave even if you want to. A high-level warrior? The villagers who ran out of their houses were shocked. The village head was an old man with white hair. He yelled, a high-level warrior would not lie to us. Everyone, go to the city now. Don't bring anything with you, just bring some food and valuables. The villagers screamed and ran back to their houses to pack their belongings. All of a sudden, the sound of shouting, crying, and rummaging made the atmosphere even heavier. Standing on top of the village wall, Yichen frowned. In the distance, a black mass of flying beasts was approaching. There were a lot of them, and with his power alone, he would not be able to protect all of them. Plus, these were only some of the beasts in the early stages of the beast wave. The longer it dragged on, the more beasts there would be. By then, the number would not be calculated by thousands, but by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions. A village and a town would not be able to handle it. Only a huge city could hold on for a while. As for how long it could last, it would depend on whether it was a small beast wave or a medium one. Normally, there would not be rank 7 beasts appearing in a small beast wave, while a medium beast wave would send out rank 7 beasts one by one. Only astral-reaching realm warriors would be able to handle it. As for the large beast wave, Yichen did not even dare to think about it, because once it happened, even the royal city might not be able to handle it. Then, it would be a real disaster for humanity. Shoo! 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 Shoving 3 Zhenqi replenishing pellets into his mouth, Yichen held his star-scar sword with both of his hands, performing his tornado broken clouds a couple of times. Countless tornadoes were created, attacking towards the flying beasts in the distance. Swoosh! The flying beasts fell down one after another, clearing up the sky. Most of the beasts that had gathered here were from the mountains or the forests nearby, so there were not many of them. Under the lead of the village head, the villagers who had packed up their belongings started to head east. Hundreds of miles away, there was a small city called the Iron City. Chapter 199. Young warrior, all the villagers are heading towards the Iron City. I think it will take them 2 or 3 days to get there. The axeman walked over to inform Yichen. Yichen jumped down from the wall and asked, what are the villages within 10 miles of Huaiyang Village? Enliyang Village, Big Mountain Village, Lu Family Village, Big River Village, Willow Village, and Yellow Mountain Town. The axeman said. Yichen said, the beasts are very fast. I am afraid they will catch up before we reach the Iron City. You tell the villagers to go to the Yellow Mountain Town first. The more people there are, the safer it will be. In the early stage, the beasts would not be very powerful. Occasionally, there would be rank 5 or 6 beasts that Yichen could handle by himself. But most of the villagers were normal people. Even a rank 1 or 2 beast would be able to tear them into pieces. They would need a large group of warriors to protect them. As a town, the Yellow Mountain Town would not lack condensing reality realm warriors. If they were lucky, they might even be able to find a few clasping Yuan realm warriors. Young warrior, you are right. The axeman was not stupid. He knew that Yichen's power was limited, and it would be impossible for him to protect the hundreds of people in the village. In front of thousands of beasts, any random attack would be able to kill all the people in the village. Alright, let's go. After performing 4 tornado broken clouds in a row, the horrifying tornado had killed almost all of the flying beasts in the sky. Yichen grabbed the axeman and flew towards the direction where the villagers were heading. After an hour, they met the villagers of Liyang village. After 6 hours, the villagers of the big mountain village had gathered. The number of people had grown from 300 to more than 1,000. This group of people was heading towards the Yellow Mountain town, which was 10 miles away. Xiao Gao, who is this young man? He killed so many beasts by himself. The chief of Liyang village asked the axeman. The axeman scratched his head and said proudly, he is a high-level warrior. As for his name, I did not ask. I didn't ask. Anyway, he's a powerful high-level martial artist. Yeah. If it weren't for him, I'm afraid we wouldn't have been able to survive. The big mountain village chief stared at the corpses of the demonic beasts in the distance and was shocked. This was already the 3rd wave of beasts that Yi Chen had killed. Each wave had hundreds of beasts, and the most dangerous one was from the front of the group. Obviously, they were beasts that lived near the Yellow Mountain town. Yi Chen was able to fight against an experienced late-clasping Yuan realm warrior, and he also had a couple of wide-range attacks from his Sky Cloud sword art. Added with the Jinqi replenishing pellets, he was barely able to protect the group from harm. Even so, over 100 people had died during the 30-kilometer journey. There are more demonic beasts coming from that direction. There are so many of them, at least 1,000. Along the way, some warriors who were passing by volunteered to protect the group. Most of them were mid-condensing reality realm warriors, and there was only one late-condensing reality realm warrior. The one who spoke was a man in his 30s, holding a huge machete in his hand, which was dripping with blood. Yi Chen said, I will try my best to kill them, you guys protect the group. Alright, you be careful. The man knew that Yi Chen was very powerful, and the beasts in the early stage would not be able to hurt him. Shoo! With a shake of his body, Yi Chen split into 3 Jinqi shadows and rushed towards the beast wave side by side. Kill! Yi Chen's real body created a tornado with his sword and attacked the beast wave, while the 3 Jinqi shadows blocked the other beasts with their bare hands. After killing hundreds of beasts, Yi Chen could not hold on anymore. He yelled at the group, everyone, get ready to fight. Don't worry. We are not here for nothing. Dozens of condensing reality realm warriors stood in front of the thousands of people. Although there were only a few of them, their aura was not weak at all. Some of the villagers who had reached Mortal Realm Stage 5 and above also walked out. They might not be able to deal with beasts above rank 2, but they could still kill rank 1 and rank 2 beasts. Roar! All of the beasts in the sky had been killed by Yi Chen, and all that was left were the low-rank beasts that could not fly. These beasts rushed towards the group of people, their roars coming one after another. A lot of the children were so scared that they started to cry. The women were shivering, holding their children tightly. Kill! 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 Under the lead of dozens of condensing reality realm warriors, including the axemen, all of the villagers who were powerful rushed up, their eyes bloodshot. Boom! 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 In the first attack, an early condensing reality realm warrior had his chest pierced by a wild boar beast's tusk. He vomited blood and died. Soon after, another 10 villagers were trampled to death by the beasts. The axeman was quite lucky. The beast that was fighting with him was a rank 2 demonic beast, Mist Cow. It was not very powerful, but it was extremely huge. Therefore, the axeman did not have to worry about being trampled by other demonic beasts. Shoo! Appearing in the middle of the beast wave, Yi Chen held his Star Scar sword with both of his hands, waving it in 4 different directions. Swoosh! For dozens of meters long sword chi sliced open the ground. Wherever it went, all of the beasts were cut in half, their blood spilling everywhere. Tyrant Millennium! Just as the sword chi passed through, Yi Chen threw a punch onto the ground. Rumble! The ground collapsed, and a huge pit with a radius of 10 meters appeared. The beasts in the front could not control their bodies and fell into the pit. The beasts behind them were too fast, so they could not stop their bodies in time. All of a sudden, at least dozens of beasts were buried in the pit. Not caring about killing the beasts that fell into the pit one by one, Yichen rushed towards the group of people. Some of the beasts were rushing towards them. "Mom, I am so scared." Seeing a huge rat beast rushing towards them, the kid curled up in the woman's arms. "Don't be scared. Mom is here." The woman's face was pale, but she tried to comfort the kid in her arms. The huge rat beast was a rank 3 beast. Before this, dozens of villagers had already had their heads bitten off by it, dying horribly. Now that it was rushing towards them, no one could stop it. Right at that moment, a fist landed on the head of the huge rat beast. The powerful fist power blew it away, its body shattering into pieces. "Tell the others to stay together." Standing in front of the two, Yichen's sword was dripping with blood. "Thank you so much." Many of the villagers in this area had died, and the population was sparse. The woman hurried to run towards the crowd with her kid, wiping her tears from time to time. Her man had just died right in front of her eyes. Killing without tiredness. On this day, Yichen had killed 2,000 to 3,000 beasts, which was more than all the times he had killed before. The killing intent on his body had made some of the low-rank beasts afraid to face him. Their movements were stiff, and even rank 3 and 4 beasts were shivering in fear. Only 15 minutes later, the battle was over. Thousands of beasts had died, and more than 200 humans had died. It was still because of Yichen's fast killing speed. Otherwise, no one would have been able to leave this place alive. "Let's go. Hurry up. We need to reach the Yellow Mountain town before nightfall." Among the group, Yichen was undoubtedly the leader. With one order, everyone left the dead bodies of their family members behind and started to run. That late condensing reality realm warrior sighed, "The beast wave is too horrifying. So many people have died in such a short time." Putting his scar sword back into its scabbard, Yichen said with a heavy tone, "Let's not talk about it for now. When the real beast wave breaks out, the number of deaths would be in the tens of thousands. All we can do is try our best to protect the villagers and get into the city. Then, we can rely on the city to fight against the beasts. Yeah, with the protection of the city, it will be much safer." The sun was setting, and the roars of the beasts could be heard everywhere. From afar, everyone could see the Yellow Mountain town standing on the ground. "We have arrived at the Yellow Mountain town. Let's work harder." The man stood next to Yichen and said with a tired voice. Yichen glanced at the man and the few condensing reality realm warriors who had survived. He was very impressed. Most of the passing warriors thought that the villagers were too slow, so they did not want to stay and protect them. Only these people were willing to help them. But after a few battles, half of them had been devoured by the beasts, and the rest of them were all wounded, some even disabled. Yichen could not help but ask, "Why did you choose to stay and protect them? If you ran by yourself, you could have made it to the town or the city first." The man asked back, "Then why did you stay? I remember that when we came here, you were the only one protecting the villagers. I am a clasping Yuan realm warrior. Why wouldn't I help if I could? Although I am not as powerful as you, I have the same idea as you. I believe they are thinking the same." The man took out a piece of cloth from his pocket and wiped his blade. Soon, they arrived at the Yellow Mountain town. "Great! Another clasping Yuan realm warrior." When the gate of the town opened, a 21 or 22-year-old young man walked up to Yichen. Yichen looked at the broken tall wall and said, "This place has been attacked by the beasts as well?" The young man nodded. "From this afternoon until now, we have been attacked by 5 demon beasts in total. The largest one had 5,000 to 6,000 demon beasts, covering the entire mountain. Many people have already rushed towards the Iron City. I am staying to protect those who have not left. I am Yichen, and you are?" "Tian Hao." The The Yellow Mountain town will not be able to hold on for long. But it is already late, we have to stay here for another night. Let's fight together. Being able to see a clasping Yuan Realm warrior, Yi Chen was very happy as well. During the beast wave, only condensing reality realm warriors and above would be able to kill the beasts in a large area. One more person would mean one more layer of protection. Tianhao laughed and said, I am not the only clasping Yuan Realm warrior in the Yellow Mountain town. The other clasping Yuan Realm warriors are guarding the other 3 town gates. Including you, there are 7 of them in total, and 3 of them are mid-clasping Yuan Realm warriors. I think it should not be a problem to guard for one night, since it has only been half a day, the real beast wave has not started yet. Yeah, 7 people should be enough. Yi Chen let out a breath in relief. Having 7 clasping Yuan Realm warriors in one town was definitely a blessing in disguise. The town was not that big, but because a lot of people had left before, the 3 villages did not feel crowded at all. Of course, there were also people from other villages nearby who had arrived. However, they were not as lucky as the Huayang village and the Liyang village. Because there were no clasping Yuan Realm warriors to protect them, they had lost a lot of people. Less than 100 people had made it to the Yellow Mountain town. Inside all the restaurants. Everyone, eat as much as you can. The owner of the restaurant has already escaped to the Iron City. All the food is free. In all the weapon shops. Everyone has a weapon. Don't take more, but don't take less. Tonight, we will be relying on them to kill the beasts. Facing the beast wave, everyone had to work together. This was something that would never happen in a peaceful time. On the street. Looking at the crowd and warriors coming and going, Tianhao said, I will take you to meet the other clasping Yuan Realm warriors. Tonight, we will be partners. Yi Chen nodded. It was a pleasant meeting. Everyone was very confident about the addition of a clasping Yuan Realm warrior. They knew very well that a clasping Yuan Realm warrior could fight against dozens of condensing reality realm warriors. No matter in terms of attacking power or attacking range, it would not be on the same level. The night had shrouded the land. The atmosphere in the Yellow Mountain town had become very serious, including that of Yi Chen and the others. Roar! 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 A beast roar was heard. It was not far from the Yellow Mountain town. No one knew how long it had been, but the rumbling sound could be heard everywhere. With the help of the moonlight, people with weapons could see a huge group of beasts in the distance. The ones running at the front were rank 1 and 2 beasts, followed by rank 3 and rank 4 beasts, and at the back were rank 5 and a few rank 6 beasts. These beasts were not rushing to attack the Yellow Mountain town. Instead, they were moving forward step by step. In front of the crowd, Tianhao said with relief, there is only one rank 6 beast here. Judging from the beast chi vibration, it should be equivalent to a peak-level mid-clasping Yuan Realm warrior. You and I will work together and kill it first. Yi Chen said, no need to be so troublesome. You help the others. I will handle the rank 5 beasts and rank 6 beasts. You alone. Tianhao looked confused. Yi Chen did not answer with words. He waved his hand and the star-scar sword appeared in his hand. He took it out of the scabbard and threw a sword attack in front of him. Swoosh! The flat ground cracked open. The beasts at the front all fell down. The sword chi wave exploded in the group of beasts, killing another 7 rank 3 and 4 beasts. Such a powerful sword chi. Tianhao was shocked. Just like Yi Chen, he was also a peak-level early clasping Yuan Realm warrior. Although he did not make it into the top 72 in the last Hidden Dragon rank competitions, he thought that he would definitely be able to make it this time. He thought that Yi Chen would not be as powerful as him, but he did not expect that Yi Chen would be even more powerful than him. Roar! Seeing Yi Chen's arrogance, the rank 6 demonic beast roared in anger. As its demonic chief swept out, it quickly appeared in front of the group of demonic beasts. It opened its mouth and breathed out a huge fire wave, which rushed towards Yi Chen. Cut! From hundreds of meters away, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack. The blue sword chi sliced through the air like a shooting star. It not only cut open the flame wave, but also landed on the rank 6 beast's body. Soon, this rank 6 beast's body was cut in half before it could even show its power. A huge amount of blood splashed onto the ground. Impressive. I thought it would be a tough fight, but it seems like I don't have to. Tianhao was shocked at first, then he was overjoyed. With Yi Chen's help, rank 6 beasts were no longer a threat to him. He only needed to kill beasts that were below rank 5. Before the beast group even got close, all the clasping Yuan realm warriors had already started their attacks. The rest of the warriors were ready to fight against the beasts at any second. Swirling winds and clouds, overlapping mountain ridges. Yi Chen had performed all of his wide-range sword attacks. Sword chi shot out in all directions, and huge groups of beasts fell onto the ground. Night battle. Tianhao's power was not to be underestimated either. A pitch-black long blade appeared in his hand. As he waved the long blade, dozens of blade chi spread out with him as the center. Swoosh! 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 With only the power of the two of them, most of the beasts could not even get close. Once they got within 300 meters, they would be killed by countless sword chi and blade chi. Even the rank 3 and 4 beasts could not survive. Only the rank 5 beasts could break through the sword chi and blade chi and escape. What welcomed them was a fist. The powerful fist had attracted hundreds of meters of yuan chi, and then it was thrown out. Boom! 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 3 to 4 rank 5 beasts exploded in the air. So powerful! We could not do anything. At least hundreds of beasts had died in their hands. The beasts behind them had just arrived, but they were all killed immediately. Even the rank 5 beasts were no exception. It is dangerous over there. Why don't we go and help them? All of the warriors in the back started to discuss. Yi Chen heard everyone's discussion and said loudly, "You guys send half of your people to other places. We will be enough here." Tianhao said, "Brother Yi is right." Hearing him, half of the 100 people left, and only about 50 people were left. There were not many beasts in the first wave. There were only 2,000 to 3,000 beasts on Yi Chen and Tianhao's side. After such a short while, half of them had already been killed by the two of them. Another rank 6 beast is coming. Is it an eagle-tiger beast? Tianhao was shocked. Pap! Just as Tianhao finished talking, that eagle-tiger beast had been cut into pieces by an extremely fast sword chi. It was as horrifying as thunder. Tianhao was speechless. This was way too horrifying. A rank 6 beast could not even take one sword chi attack from him. This eagle-tiger beast was equivalent to a normal late-clasping Yuan realm warrior. Putting a pellet into his mouth, Yi Chen looked very calm. This eagle-tiger beast was different from normal rank 6 beasts. If he wanted to kill it with one sword attack, he would have to use his ultimate move, the last movement of the Sky Cloud sword art, Supreme Sky Cloud. As for the one sword attack, he would try not to use it unless necessary, as it would consume a lot of his energy. As the battle went on, Tianhao's Shinchi was being consumed very quickly. However, he had quite a lot of pellets with him, some of which could instantly replenish 20 to 30% of his Shinchi. He said, "Brother Yi, if you don't have enough pellets, I have some here. I am from the alchemist martial school, and I have a lot of them." Yi Chen said, "No need, I have a lot of pellets as well." Besides the calabash of Jinqi replenishing pellets, he also had hundreds of normal Jinqi replenishing pellets, which he had spent hundreds of thousands of gold to buy. After all, normal Jinqi replenishing pellets were more than enough for normal use, there was no need to waste Jinqi replenishing pellets. When all the beasts in this direction had been killed, the battles in the other directions had not finished yet. Yi Chen said, "I will go help the others first. Are you okay by yourself?" "Sure, you go ahead. I don't think it's safe over there. Rank 6 beasts are still quite powerful for us." Tianhao sat on the ground with his legs crossed and started meditating. Hearing Yi Chen, he nodded. Swoosh! Extending his body, Yi Chen soon arrived at the south gate of the Yellow Mountain town. Without saying anything, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack and hit the rank 6 beast that was fighting with the clasping Yuan Realm warrior. This rank 6 beast let out a cry and fell on the ground. Chapter 200. The one guarding the south gate was a mid-clasping Yuan Realm warrior. Before Yi Chen arrived, he was the most powerful warrior in the Yellow Mountain town. However, his opponent was a rank 6 beast, the four-legged flamingo, which was as powerful as a late-clasping Yuan Realm warrior. Even after using all of his ace attacks, he still could not do anything to it. Instead, his arm had been scratched. Seeing Yi Chen kill the four-legged flamingo with only one sword attack, he opened his eyes wide in shock. I will leave the rest of the beasts to you. I will go check out the other two sides. Flashing his body, Yi Chen flew across the sky of the Yellow Mountain town and arrived at the east gate. The situation here was not good. There were 2 rank 6 beasts, and there were only 2 clasping Yuan Realm warriors. One was a mid-clasping Yuan Realm warrior, and the other was an early clasping Yuan Realm warrior. The early clasping Yuan Realm warrior was about to be killed by the claw of the rank 6 beast. Performing his separating shadow flying art, Yi Chen's body became blurry. When he reappeared, he was already in between the beast and the human, throwing out a thunderous sword attack. Pap! The lightning-like blue sword light broke through the beast's protective beast chi and landed heavily on its chest. Then, the sword light shone brightly, exploding violently. Blood splashed everywhere. This aggressive rank 6 beast had been blown away by the sword light. There was a huge sword hole in its chest, which was quite chilling. You go and heal yourself first. Yi Chen said to the middle-aged man, who was quite badly wounded. All right, thank you. The middle-aged man was just as shocked as the first one. However, it was obviously not the time for him to be shocked. He obediently stepped back, swallowed a pellet, and sat on the ground with his legs crossed to heal himself. He was trying to recover most of his fighting power before the next wave of beasts appeared. Oh! Little bro, you are quite powerful. The one who was fighting with the rank 6 beast was a beautiful lady in her 30s. She was holding a crescent blade in her hand, and seemed to be on par with the beast. From time to time, she would use her ace attacks to leave bloody marks on the beast's body. Yi Chen said, the next wave of beasts could come at any time. You don't mind if I help you, right? Clasping Yuan Realm warriors were very confident in their own power. If they went up there recklessly, they might annoy the lady, since she had already suppressed the rank 6 beast. Sure. I couldn't ask for more. The beautiful woman smiled sweetly and didn't mind. Bang! The ground exploded as Yi Chen violently dashed towards the beautiful woman's opponent, the level 6 two-headed wolf king. Howl! One of the two-headed wolf king's heads spat out a ring of light at Yi Chen. The power of the light wave was unparalleled. Wherever it went, the ground would explode layer by layer, and the sky would be filled with rubble. Break! On the way, Yi Chen slashed horizontally with his sword. The light wave split in the middle, and the thick blue sword chi instantly hit the double-headed wolf king's body, protecting demonic chi. Ah! This two-headed wolf king is not simple. The blue sword chi had been blocked by the protective beast chi, and could not break through. At this moment, Yi Chen finally realized how powerful that beautiful lady was. She seemed to be even more powerful than those mid-clasping Yuan Realm warriors outside the south gate. Before, she had suppressed the double-headed wolf king all by herself. The beautiful lady reminded Yi Chen, this is not a normal double-headed wolf king, it is a mutated one. Its beast chi is very dense, and even my arc light blade could not break through its protective beast chi. You will have to use your ace attack. Ah! It's broken. In the beautiful lady's eyes, the blue sword chi did not disappear just like that. Instead, it turned into layers of sword chi that continuously landed on the double-headed wolf king's protective Jin chi. Within 2 blinks of an eye, one of the double-headed wolf king's heads had been cut off by the sword chi. Blood spurted out for dozens of meters. Arc light cut. As soon as the double-headed Wolf King's protective Jinchi was broken, the beautiful lady reacted quickly and threw out 3 blade attacks in a row, killing the double-headed Wolf King for good. Interesting. Are you interested in joining our moon pavilion? Don't worry, we are not a martial institution, we are just an organization. You don't have to leave your martial institution if you join us. The beautiful lady would not be stupid enough to ask Yi Chen to leave his martial institution. With his age, Yi Chen must be the most talented one in the martial institution. Yi Chen said, "Not yet. Hee, you will be interested in it in the future." The beautiful lady laughed. The expression on her face was obviously one of excitement. After that, Yi Chen went to the north gate of the Yellow Mountain town to help. In fact, he did not need to go there, since there was not even a single rank 6 beast there. After the first wave of beasts had been killed, no one dared to sleep. They sat outside the town to rest and chat, drinking wine. As for cleaning up the dead bodies, they could not do it even if they wanted to. Under the beast wave, there would be no whole bodies left. All they could see was the ground covered with minced meat and blood. In the middle of the night, the second wave of beasts had arrived. The attack this time was even more intense than the previous wave. There were dozens of rank 6 beasts, and there were 3 to 4 of them in almost every direction. There were hundreds of rank 5 beasts, and the number of low-rank beasts was even more horrifying. There were tens of thousands of them, and they were everywhere. After 2 hours, the second wave of beasts had finally been killed. The number of warriors in the Yellow Mountain town had been reduced from the original 700 to 300. More than half of them had died under the claws of the beasts. The normal people in the town were not spared either. Half of the thousands of people had died, and the survivors were either hiding in the cellars or being saved by Yi Chen and the others. Besides that, there were finally some Clasping Yuan Realm warriors who had been killed. An early Clasping Yuan Realm warrior had been killed, and 3 others had been wounded. One of them had lost an arm. One more wave, and we will not be able to hold on anymore. Tian Hao was covered in blood as he said sadly. Yi Chen's clothes were torn, but he was not wounded. He said, "The sun is coming out soon. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get everyone to the Iron City. That's the only way." After a quarter of an hour, more than 1,000 people left the broken Yellow Mountain town, walking towards the sun in the east. All of their faces were pale. Obviously, the beast attack last night had made them very tired and desperate. The good thing was that there was still hope in their eyes. Behind the crowd, Tian Hao had changed into a clean set of clothes, and said with a bitter smile, "I have killed more beasts tonight than I have in the past few years. How could there be so many beasts?" The beautiful lady said, "The beasts are very territorial, but there are at least hundreds of thousands of beasts in a 1,000 miles radius mountain range. We had only been attacked in a small area." "You are right. We can only hope that there will not be any rank 7 beasts in the beast wave." Yi Chen looked very serious. If it were top rank 6 beasts like the Wind Wolf, they would still be able to fight them with the number of people. But once there were rank 7 beasts, the human wave attack would basically be useless. Relying on the city would be useless as well. Only astral-reaching realm warriors of the same level would be able to make it. Tian Hao looked into the distance. There are still 200 miles to the Iron City. We have to speed up. At the same time, in different directions, countless people were gathering towards the area where the Iron City was located. Iron City, inside the mayor's mansion. "Mayor, right now, the Iron City is already overcrowded. In the next few days, there will be even more people gathering here. This will be a huge burden." An elder in luxurious clothes reported to the middle-aged man on the main seat. The middle-aged mayor said, "Normal people stay on the ground, and let all the warriors go up to the roof. That way, there will be more space. Right now, it is not about the number of people, but what if there are not enough people? We should all gather in the Iron City." The elder said with admiration, "Mayor, you are so wise. I asked you to find out how many Clasping Yuan Realm warriors there are in the Iron City. Have you found anything yet? The mayor asked. I have. Although the Iron City is a small city, there are more than 240 clasping Yuan realm warriors, and it is still increasing. Among them, there are many clasping Yuan realm warriors from the big martial institutions. Yeah, the beast wave is indeed dangerous, but it can train the warriors' battling experience. The leaders of the big martial institutions should have plans for this. Oh right, are there any astral reaching realm warriors coming? Not yet. The mayor frowned and mumbled to himself, this is not easy. Right now, we are not sure if it will be a small beast wave or a mid-sized one. If there are rank 7 beasts, the Iron City would not be able to hold on. I hope it will not happen. I don't think it will be possible. Normally, rank 7 beasts would only be found in mid-sized mountains or forests. Within 10,000 miles of our Iron City, there are no mid-sized mountains or forests. The biggest mountain in the wasteland is only a small one, only a few thousand miles in radius. I hope so. After 1 day and 1 night of traveling, everyone was exhausted. A lot of normal people who were already injured had died on the way, and even more had died under the attacks of the beasts. The number of people has decreased again. I wonder how many will make it to the Iron City. Looking at the crowd, Yichen sighed. Right now, there were less than 1,000 people left, which was almost the same as the population of 3 villages. He then looked at the axeman who was not far away and smiled. He thought that he was quite lucky. He did not die in such a harsh battle, and even managed to break through from the peak of Mortal Realm Stage 8 to Stage 9. After this beast wave, there was hope for him to reach the condensing reality realm. Tianhao looked at Yi Chen with admiration. You have killed 5,000 to 6,000 beasts by yourself, and I have only killed less than 1/3 of you. Every time the beasts attacked, Yi Chen would fight his way into the group of beasts by himself and kill the rank 6 beasts that were threatening. And every time, he would be able to escape unscathed, which made Tianhao and the rest admire him. In their minds, there were people who were as powerful as Yi Chen, or even more powerful than him, but none of them could do it as easily as he did. Young man, if you join our moon pavilion, we will guarantee you more resources to increase your cultivation. The beautiful lady did not forget to recruit Yi Chen at all. Yi Chen smiled bitterly, I'm not interested for now. Then think about it. You won't lose anything anyway. If you think the moon pavilion is not good, you can leave any time. The beautiful lady was very confident in the moon pavilion. She believed that after Yi Chen joined, he would not want to leave. The problem was that he had not joined yet. Another half a day passed. A city with a circumference of 10 miles appeared in their sight. We've arrived at the Iron City. We've finally arrived. Let's go in quickly. We'll be safe inside. The people who survived cherished their lives very much. All of them ran as if they had been injected with chicken blood, unlike before when they were on the verge of death. The beautiful lady flew into the air and shouted, "Open the city gate." Before the beautiful lady shouted a second time, the huge city gate opened. Groups of soldiers lined up on both sides. The leader said, "Everyone, come in. Don't waste any time." After entering the Iron City, everyone let out a sigh of relief. Some of them had reached their limit and fainted. So many people. Looking at the overcrowded Iron City, Yi Chen was shocked. Tianhao said, "It seems like everyone has gathered here. Next, we will have to fight against the beasts. I hope we can hold on. If there are no rank 7 beasts, it should not be a problem." An unknown clasping Yuan realm warrior nearby said. Roar! The second Yi Chen and the group entered the city, countless beasts were running in the direction of the Yellow Mountain town. It was dark and horrifying. Within the beast wave, there were countless rank 5 beasts and hundreds of rank 6 beasts. What was even more horrifying was that behind the beasts, there was a huge shadow moving towards them. Wherever it went, the hills would collapse and the ground would start to rumble, as if there was a small earthquake. It was a 1,000 meters long python with 2 long horns on its head. Its whole body was covered in greenish-yellow scales that were the size of basins. With a casual sweep of its tail, the ground would crack open, and rocks would fly everywhere. From its mouth, a stinky smell would come out, forming countless dark cloud-like air currents that covered its entire body. Boom! The two-horned python flew past the yellow mountain town. The whole town had been completely destroyed and turned into a flat ground within a second. It was impossible to tell that this town used to exist. Roar! 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 The beast's roar was earth-shattering as it jumped towards the Iron City. What? There are rank 7 beasts here. A late-clasping Yuan realm warrior saw the two-horned python from afar and was shocked. He hurried to perform his flying art and fly towards the Iron City. Swoosh! The two-horned python stared at him without blinking. It opened its mouth and an endless amount of beast chi gathered at its throat. Then, a pitch-black light column shot out. 10 miles of distance was covered within a blink of an eye. This late-clasping Yuan realm warrior did not even make a sound before his body was burned into ashes. As if it was not satisfied yet, this two-horned python shot out a few more pitch-black light columns, which pierced through the mountains nearby. Rocks started to fall from the top, and a loud rumbling sound was heard. The beast's speed was extremely fast, even faster than the crowd's traveling speed. Within half a day, they had already reached 10 miles away from the Iron City. The two-horned python straightened its upper body, which was almost as tall as a mountain. It opened its mouth again and shot out another pitch-black light column, shooting towards the Iron City's city wall that was 10 miles away. The city wall was shattered like tofu. Countless people had died under this black light column, including 3 clasping Yuan realm warriors. Some of the warriors recognized the two-horned python and said in shock, "It is a rank 7 beast." Rank 7 beast, horned dragon python. How is this possible? How could there be a horned dragon python within 10,000 miles? How could we block the attack of a rank 7 beast? Let's just run. A lot of clasping Yuan realm warriors had pale faces as they started to think about running away. On the other side of the city wall, Yi Chen's heart sank. He had never thought that a rank 7 beast would appear out of nowhere, and this early. Even all of the clasping Yuan realm warriors in the city combined might not be able to kill a rank 7 beast. After all, martial geniuses like Xian Ho were not easy to find. Plus, this rank 7 beast's power was still unknown. It might be as powerful as a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. Even a martial genius like Xian Ho would not be able to fight against it. I wonder if I can beat a rank 7 beast after I reach the late clasping Yuan realm. According to Thunder Freer, it seems to be very hard. Even with the completed sword intent, I would only be able to run away, and would not be able to fight against it. Yi Chen had never seen a rank 7 beast before, nor had he seen an astral-reaching realm warrior fight against one another. So, he could not tell how powerful a rank 7 beast or an astral-reaching realm warrior would be. Chapter 201. Obviously, the Iron City did not have a horrifying martial genius like Xian Ho, and could not fight against the rank 7 horned dragon snake with her late-clasping Yuan realm power. When the horned dragon snake shot out the second pitch-black light column, some clasping Yuan realm warriors had finally escaped. For them, it was only a matter of time before the Iron City was destroyed. If they did not leave now, it would be hard for them to leave later, since they only had one life. Boom! Another pitch-black beam of light pierced through the void and landed on the huge city gate of Iron City. In the next moment, the 1-meter-thick city gate made of steel melted into ashes. The pitch-black beam of light didn't stop there. It went straight through the ground, all the way to the city lord's mansion in the center. The mansion was split in half, and everything within 10 meters of that line disappeared instantly. Not a single thing was left. The mayor is dead. Everyone, run. What? The mayor is dead? What is the point of defending? Wait a bit longer. Maybe some astral-reaching realm warriors will come. The beast wave is not only around the Iron City. Other cities are also facing beast waves, and I am afraid there will not be any astral-reaching realm warriors to help. The beast wave had not even reached the city yet, but the people in the Iron City had already lost hope. We can't defend anymore. Let's run. Right next to Yi Chen, Tian Hao and the rest forced a smile. Yi Chen nodded, since it has already happened, staying would be suicide. In the Yellow Mountain town, because there were no rank 7 beasts, they could still try their best to protect more people. But right now, who could they protect if they stayed? In front of rank 7 beasts, clasping Yuan realm warriors would only be ants, unless there were enough of them to kill an elephant. The sky darkened, and a pitch-black light column suddenly shot out towards Yi Chen's direction. Watch out! Yi Chen's body flashed, leaving a Jinqi shadow where he was standing. Tian Hao and the lady's reactions were just below Yi Chen's. They pushed their flying art to its limit, moving towards the right side at a high speed. Swoosh! The other clasping Yuan realm warriors did not manage to react in time before they were devoured by the black light column along with the city wall. Tian Hao's face was pale. He had reacted fast enough, but it was not fast enough. At that critical moment, Yi Chen had pushed him, allowing him to avoid the attack range of the black light column. Looking at the edge of the city wall that had been melted, Tian Hao was still scared. He turned his head and said to Yi Chen with gratitude, "I owe you a life. I will pay you back someday." Yi Chen did not say anything. He seemed to have sensed something, so he turned his head and looked towards the sky. Yi Chen said nothing. Astral reaching realm warriors are coming. Yi Chen let out a breath. In the sky, realm, Qin clan king, and the black clan Yi have city emperor, and Yi clan have realm warriors. King Dragon King with clan, Qin realm, dragon, the speed of the flame was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it was still thousands of meters away. In the blink of an eye, the figure in the flame was already clearly visible. It was like a huge fireball shooting over. Seeing that, Tian Hao activated his Jinqi and said with a loud voice, "Don't despair. The astral reaching realm warriors from the alchemist martial school are here to help." It is true. There really are astral reaching realm warriors in the Iron City. The firelight's momentum was so great that not long after, everyone could feel its astonishing aura and scorching temperature. The horned dragon python in the herd also noticed the firelight. Its eyes were cold as it locked onto the location of the firelight. Then, it opened its mouth and spat out a pitch-black pillar of light. "Break!" A voice was heard from within the fire. Right after that, a huge flame-like blade chi sliced through the air, clashing with the black light column. Boom! That horrifying blast wave brought up layers of dirt. A huge pit with a radius of hundreds of meters and a depth of dozens of meters had appeared on the ground. Shoo! The fire disappeared, and a human figure appeared right next to Tian Hao. It was an elder in his 60s, wearing a long robe with fire patterns on his sleeves. Tian Hao said with respect, "Great master." The elder nodded and said with a serious tone, "Tell everyone to leave the Iron City and head to the Gold Tripod City. That is the only place we can defend." What? With the Great Master here, we will definitely be able to defend the Iron City. Tian Hao was a bit shocked. He did not expect the elder to say that. The elder sighed, "If it were other rank 7 beasts, I would have the confidence to fight with or even beat them. But this horned dragon snake is extremely powerful, almost equivalent to a mid-astral reaching realm warrior. I can only stall it for a while. Once it drags on, even I will have to run away. Even Grand Elder couldn't defeat it." Tian Hao gasped. Yi Chen was speechless. Running away to the Gold Tripod City with 1,000,000 people was definitely not a good idea. During the beast wave, there would be beasts everywhere outside the city. Not to mention 1,000,000 people, even if there were 10 million people, they would still be slaughtered. But the opponent had made it clear that he could only stall the horned dragon snake for a while, and would not be able to beat it. In other words, they would die either way. The fate of the Iron City's population had already been decided. As the two were talking, the horned dragon snake's second attack had arrived. Shoo! The black light column flashed once before disappearing, and the sky started to darken. Hurry up and get out of here. I can only hold it for 15 minutes. The old man rose from the ground, and a flaming machete appeared in his hand. The machete drew a stunning arc in the void and slashed at the pitch-black pillar of light. The black light column had been shattered once again, and the elder flew towards the beast with the blade in his hand. With Tianhao's warning, everyone knew about this fact. They had to open the other 3 city gates and get ready to run towards the gold tripod city. Soon, everyone had returned to the Iron City. It turned out that there were beast waves coming from the other 3 directions as well. There were millions of them, and they had completely surrounded the Iron City. Not to mention normal people, even late-clasping Yuan realm warriors might not be able to get out. This is bad. On the city wall, all of the clasping Yuan realm warriors looked pale. Before, they were still able to escape with their own power. But now, there were so many beasts everywhere, and some of them were even top-ranked 6 beasts. There was no way they could escape. If they had known this earlier, they would have escaped earlier. Rumble. The beasts were running extremely fast. Within the time it took to drink half a pot of tea, the Iron City had been completely surrounded. In the sky, under the city wall, every inch of space was filled with all kinds of beasts. The first ones to suffer were the warriors on the city wall. Almost within a second, hundreds of them had been torn into pieces by the flying beasts, including an early clasping Yuan realm warrior. It was a rank 6 beast, the 4-legged flamingo, that had killed him. Tornado broke in clouds. Facing all of those flying beasts, Yichen chose to attack with a large area of effect. He threw out a sword attack, and the sword chi twisted the air, forming a huge tornado. Shoo! 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 All the beasts below rank 5 would be sucked in once they got close to the tornado. They would be sliced into pieces. Although the rank 5 beasts had a high defense, they still could not keep their bodies steady. They were shakily spinning around the tornado, and were eventually killed by the sword chi. Awo! An earth-shattering wolf howl was heard, which shocked Yi Chen and the rest of them. They could not help but look into the distance. Above the crowd of beasts, a gigantic demonic wolf was flying towards the Iron City. It was indeed one of the tyrants of the rank 6 beasts, the Wind Wolf. Before the rest of them could react, another roar was heard. The ground started to shake violently, and a demonic bear that was even bigger than the Wind Wolf jumped into the air. It was like a dark cloud pressing down on the Iron City. The aggressive chi made all of the flying beasts in the sky scatter, not daring to come closer. Top rank 6 beast, Wind Wolf. Top rank 6 beast, Black Bear. The lady mumbled. Tianhao took a deep breath and said, "Guys, if we don't run now, we will not have another chance." The Wind Wolf and the Black Bear were both tyrants of the rank 6 beasts. With their power, they would not be able to fight against them at all. Plus, as more and more beasts appeared, no one could tell if there would be more top-ranked 6 beasts. Yichen glanced at the Iron City behind him and said helplessly, "Let's run." Shoo! 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 While they were talking, most of the clasping Yuan realm warriors in the Iron City had performed their flying arts, running towards the place where there were fewer beasts. Yi Chen and the other 2 followed closely behind the rest of them. Ah! The few clasping Yuan realm warriors in the front were suddenly entangled by a long and thin tongue. The tongue was covered with thorns, and with a slight pull, their bodies were torn apart. It is a top-rank 6 beast, the 3-eyed toad. Run! Hearing him, everyone, including Yi Chen, increased their speed to their limit. They did not dare to stay for even a second longer. This place was no longer a place where clasping Yuan realm warriors could run freely. Only astral-reaching realm warriors could come and go as they pleased. In the next 10 minutes, 200 clasping Yuan realm warriors were either injured or killed. There were less than 100 left, and most of them had died under the claws of the rank 6 beasts. Some of them had been badly wounded and had fallen into the beast groups, killed by countless low-rank beasts. Supreme Shocking Cloud. Burning Field Cut. Arc Cut. Yi Chen and the other two were not having a good time either. Although they had carefully avoided the top rank 6 beasts, they were soon surrounded by a group of rank 6 beasts, falling into a crisis. On the other side, the battle between the great master of the alchemist martial school and the horned dragon snake had reached its climax. The horned dragon snake was not only extremely powerful in long-range attacks, but also in close combat. Its 100-meter-long tail swept across the air, blowing away all the air within 1,000 meters radius, turning it into a vacuum world. In this vacuum world, everything seemed to be weightless. The elder yelled, the flame on his body burning fiercely. It was more than 50% stronger than before, and his whole body looked like a human-shaped fire pillar. Boom! A blade attack landed on the horned dragon snake's tail, and the elder was blown away. With that momentum, his body flashed, jumping towards Yi Chen and the other two. Go! He waved his hand to kill all the rank 6 beasts surrounding them, then grabbed Tian Hao and rushed out of the encirclement with a speed that was a couple of times faster than the speed of sound. Yi Chen and the lady looked at each other and forced a smile. They did not have that kind of insane speed, and they did not dare to follow behind the elder. Who knew if the horned dragon snake would launch a long-range attack after them? Just as they had expected, a pitch-black light column shot over, shooting towards the elder. Along with a loud boom, the elder and Tian Hao's bodies disappeared. Let's leave as well. If the horned dragon snake catches up with us, we will definitely die. Yeah! Yi Chen and the lady flew side by side, trying their best to avoid the top-ranked 6 beasts. They did not dare to kill too many of them, as they were afraid that the horned dragon snake would notice them. Chapter 202. There are too many beasts, and we can't make too much noise. Looking at the horde of demonic beasts and the demonic energy that blotted out the sky, the beautiful woman could not help but frown. Yi Chen also felt troubled. The horned dragon snake was not far behind them. Once they made too much noise, it would definitely notice them. By then, no matter how powerful they were, they would not be able to escape death. Then, they could only use their separating shadow flying art. Without much hesitation, Yi Chen reached out his hand and grabbed the lady's slim hand. His body shook a little, and a series of Jinqi shadows appeared in the air. His real body had already carried the lady and rushed out. His speed was not that fast, but he was like a fish swimming in the water, avoiding the beast's encirclement. You! The lady subconsciously wanted to take back her hand, but she realized that Yi Chen was performing a special flying art, so she gave up. She used her Jinqi to talk to Yi Chen. Although this flying art is special and can create Jinqi shadows, it can also attract the attention of the surrounding beasts. You should know that some of the beasts can see through you. Yi Chen said, how would you know if you don't try? Shoo! 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 The two silhouettes flickered in and out of existence. A lot of low-ranked beasts were dazzled and bumped into each other. Shoo! Right at this moment, a slender object swept over with a speed as fast as a spark. Watch out! The lady held her breath. She was not unfamiliar with that long and thin object. It was the tongue of the top-rank 6 beast, the three-eyed toad. The three-eyed toad's third eye could see through reality. As long as one's cultivation level was not too much higher than its own, no matter how many tricks one used, one would not be able to fool it. The tongue that was covered in barbs was too fast. The moment the lady's voice was heard, the tongue had already wrapped around the two's bodies and slightly tightened. Swoosh! The two's bodies were torn apart, but they were Jinqi shadows. The lady was surprised. How did you avoid it? Yi Chen said, as long as the speed of the tongue is not faster than my reaction speed, I have a way to avoid it. You do not have to worry about that. Hee, you really don't want to consider joining our moon pavilion? The lady tried to persuade Yi Chen to join their organization. Let's get out of here first. Yi Chen had consumed a lot of his true qi shadows. After all, these shadows needed true qi to maintain, and in a short period of time, he had already lost dozens of true qi shadows. Shoving a pill into his mouth that could instantly replenish his Jinqi, Yi Chen increased the output of his Jinqi, pushing his speed to the limit that he could reach. Xiao! With the help of the Jinqi shadows, the two of them passed through the dense demonic qi and arrived at the edge of the beast tide. We've finally escaped. The beautiful woman took a deep breath. Yi Chen had no intention of letting go of her hand. He took her and flew towards the nearby mountains. The beautiful woman said with a smile that was not a smile, "Little brat, we have already escaped from the encirclement. How long are you going to hold my hand?" "Although I don't mind." Yi Chen said calmly, "If you want to die, you can let go." "What do you mean?" The beautiful woman knew that Yi Chen would not speak without thinking. "It's simple. We have been targeted by the horned dragon snake. Luckily, it did not catch up. The horned dragon snake was a rank 7 beast. Speed was not its specialty, but for it to chase after two clasping Yuan realm warriors, it was as easy as drinking water. I guess it did not want to chase after two small fries like us." The beautiful woman indeed did not dare to let go of her hand. Without Yi Chen's separating shadow flying art, it was very likely that she would die. After all, she had seen how Yi Chen had brought her out of the encirclement with her own eyes. Among the beasts, the horned dragon snake's upper body stood straight up like a sky pillar. A pair of cold eyes pierced through the demonic qi, locking onto Yi Chen and the beautiful woman who were in the distance. Just like the beautiful woman had said, as a rank 7 beast, it did not want to chase after the two personally. All it needed to do was let out a beam of demonic qi. It opened its huge mouth, and an endless amount of demonic qi gathered. The horned dragon snake shot out a pitch-black light column, which broke through the demonic qi blockade within a second and appeared miles away. Yi Chen was as calm as still water as he yelled with a low voice. "Explode!" The two's bodies suddenly exploded, and a huge amount of afterimages shot out in all directions. Pooh! More than 80% of the afterimages did not manage to escape the attack range of the pitch-black light column, and they all disappeared within a second. The power of the pitch-black light column did not decrease at all, and it even pierced through a steep mountain that was even further away. Amidst the layers of mountains. Because of the beast wave, there were no more beasts in the places where the beasts used to gather. Wah! Yi Chen could not help but puke out a mouthful of blood anymore. His body started to wobble. Grabbing Yi Chen's arm, the beautiful woman brought him down onto the rugged mountain road. "You are wounded." The beautiful woman was still shocked before, but now she knew what kind of price she had to pay to perform that attack. Shoving an expensive healing pellet that was worth tens of thousands of gold into his mouth, Yi Chen sat on the ground with his legs crossed, and said with a pale face, 3 Jinqi afterimages is my normal limit. 5 Jinqi afterimages will make my Jinqi chaotic. Just now, I had used so many Jinqi afterimages at once, and my meridians and internal organs were injured quite badly. Help me protect me, I need to adjust my condition first. Alright, aren't you afraid that I will hurt you? Yi Chen said, "You can try." "Never mind, you are so calm. You must have a backup plan." The beautiful woman shook her head. She had not known Yi Chen for long, and no matter what kind of danger he had encountered, she had never seen him panic. With her experience, she naturally knew that Yi Chen was not someone to be messed with. Plotting against him would be extremely difficult, not to mention that she had never really thought about killing him for money. Closing his eyes, Yi Chen quickly entered the healing state. 2 hours later, Yi Chen let out a breath that had a slight smell of blood, and slowly stood up. "This is not a good place to stay. Let's go to the big city." The beautiful woman nodded. "During the beast wave, there will be endless amounts of beasts coming. This time, it will not be a simple small beast wave." Shoo! Shoo! The two of them used their qinggong and flew far away. Not long after the two of them left, 2 human figures appeared in the iron city that had been razed to the ground. "Sigh, we are late." Including the iron city, there are already 20 cities that have been destroyed. The death toll is over 30 million. Judging from the degree of destruction in the cities, there should be a rank 7 beast that passed by. Luckily, there were no rank 8 beasts. Otherwise, even some medium-sized cities would not be able to hold on. A small beast wave will not have many rank 7 beasts. This time, it is a special case. There were more than 10 rank 7 beasts. There is no sign of a beast wave, and those martial institutions that are too far away have not received the news yet. We will have to be busy and kill this rank 7 beast first. Yeah. It doesn't matter if we are busy. The two of them flashed and disappeared. Their speed was much faster than the great master of the alchemist martial school. During the beast wave, there would be no safe zone within 10,000 miles. Usually, the moment one got out of danger, another group of beasts would arrive. Arc cut. After killing a rank 6 beast, the beautiful woman forced a smile, going through dozens of battles in one day. I am afraid we will be exhausted to death before we even reach the big cities. Yi Chen did not say anything. In the past couple of days, they did not dare to fly in the sky, since it would be too obvious. It might even attract the top rank 6 beasts and rank 7 beasts. However, their traveling speed was extremely slow. On average, they could only travel 1 to 2,000 miles a day, and it was still not completely safe. They would be discovered by small groups of beasts from time to time. In a couple of days, when the astral reaching realm warriors from other areas arrive, the situation should be much better. The beautiful woman said, indeed, the beast wave had happened too suddenly. If there had been a sign, then there would not have been so many deaths. On their way, countless villages and towns had been ravaged by the beasts. The smell of blood was everywhere, making it look like hell on earth. Yi Chen sighed slightly. Before, he had tried so hard to bring people from 3 villages to the Iron City, but they still could not escape death. In front of the beast wave, warriors below the clasping Yuan realm would not be able to protect themselves at all. Once they were surrounded by a huge amount of beasts, even clasping Yuan realm warriors would not be able to escape. According to the beautiful woman's analysis, this was only a small beast wave with a lot of rank 7 beasts. A medium beast wave would be 10 times bigger than a small one, with a lot of rank 8 beasts and even rank 9 beasts. Moo! A demonic cow with wings on its back dove towards Yi Chen. That powerful beast chi had shaken up the air, bringing up patterns everywhere. Lone peak kill. Facing the beast's attack, Yi Chen looked normal as he stabbed out a sword attack. The beast could feel the power of that sword attack and was about to dodge it. But then, it realized that no matter how hard it tried, it would not be able to get out of the attacking range of that sword attack. It was like Yi Chen was standing on top of a tall mountain. With the height of the mountain, that sword attack was filled with killing intent. Swoosh! A sword hole appeared on its forehead. The beast's body shook a little before it fell down. The beautiful woman's eyes lit up. I don't remember you performing this attack before. It is not that powerful, but it would still be hard for me to dodge it. I just learned it. Yi Chen said vaguely. The Lone Peak kill was actually a combination of the 7 movements of the Lone Peak 13 swords. It was a combined sword movement. A long time ago, he had tried to combine sword movements, but he realized that the rank of the Sky Cloud sword art was too high. With his current cultivation and knowledge, he would not be able to combine it. Therefore, he had to start with the top-rank Mortal Realm sword art, the Lone Peak 13 swords. Before the beast wave, he had only combined 4 movements of the Lone Peak kill. Its power was only about the same as the last 3rd movement of the Sky Cloud sword art, which was not that powerful. In the past couple of days of killing, he had killed thousands of beasts. Finally, he had combined 3 sword movements again. His power had instantly surpassed the Sky Cloud sword art, and was only weaker than the one sword attack, which consumed his mind power. Compared to the one sword attack's extreme speed and high attacking power, the Lone Peak kill's poetic perspective was even higher, and it complemented his entry-level sword intent. As for why, Yi Chen knew it very well. When he first learned the sword intent, it was actually because of the poetic perspective of the Lone Peak 13 swords. Therefore, the sword intent and the poetic perspective of the Lone Peak 13 swords were more or less related. As long as I combine the Lone Peak 13 swords into one movement, its power would definitely be more powerful than the one-sword attack. But of course, it would only be temporary. The one-sword attack would improve along with my cultivation, and its power would increase as well. Sooner or later, it would surpass the one-sword attack. Killing beasts after beasts, Yichen thought to himself. Swoosh! Another mid-level level 6 demonic beast was assassinated without the slightest bit of resistance. Chapter 203. As the days passed, the number of demonic beasts increased. Within a radius of more than 20,000 li, there were traces of demonic beasts everywhere, covering the sky and covering the earth. The Gold Tripod City was the only big city within the Beast Waves area. It was more than 100 miles in both width and length, which was even bigger than the Wind City and the Happy City in the Windy Nation. The population had reached an astonishing 15 million, which was equivalent to the total population of 20 small cities. On the streets, clasping Yuan Realm warriors could be seen everywhere, and condensing Reality Realm warriors were everywhere. As for the Astral Reaching Realm warriors, they were not that rare anymore. Look! Isn't that the inner master of the Sky-Flying Devil Martial School, the Black Crow Man? The one beside him should be the Fire Spirit, right? The two of them used to be enemies decades ago. I did not expect that they would become good friends walking side by side today. Martial geniuses would usually compete with each other. The Black Crow Man and the Fire Spirit were both considered mid-level martial geniuses back in the day. It was because they did not want to lose that they managed to break through to the mid-astral reaching realm together. You are right. If a martial genius does not have a martial genius opponent, they would lose their passion very soon. Once there are a lot of martial geniuses, it would be easier for a martial genius to appear. As for the discussions, the Black Crow Man had always chosen to ignore them. He laughed and said, "Fire Spirit, you have killed one less rank 7 beast than me. It seems like I still have the advantage." The Fire Spirit said seriously, "You have only killed 3 rank 7 beasts. One of the 2 beasts I have killed was a top rank 7 beast. Regardless, it is a fact that I have killed more rank 7 beasts than you." The Black Crow Man did not let go of this point. The Fire Spirit was filled with a battling intent. "Why don't we fight again? A couple of months ago, we did not have a winner. This time, we might have to fight for a winner. Who is afraid of you? After the Beast Wave, you can choose the location." The two entered a restaurant and were still bickering. The manager did not dare to disturb the two, so he followed behind with a smile. "Manager, let's sit here. Give us some dishes that go well with the wine and some good wine." The two of them sat by the window and the Black Crow Daoist ordered the manager. "All right, it will be ready soon." The shopkeeper nodded and bowed as he retreated. Looking at the warriors walking on the street, the Fire Spirit suddenly sighed, "Time flies so fast. Decades have passed in a blink of an eye. Yeah! Being able to reach late astral reaching realm in this lifetime is already our limit. We won't be able to reach higher realms. To be able to reach late astral reaching realm, I am already very satisfied. Speaking of which, we are not considered powerful geniuses. The powerful geniuses are mostly Sea of Soul realm experts." Not at all. I thought Xuanho's generation was the peak of all the martial geniuses. But now, it seems that the current generation of martial geniuses is the real peak, even comparable to the ancient era. For example, the Fire Spirit Prince of your Fire Spirit Martial School, he has already reached the peak level late clasping Yuan realm at the age of 22. He is even more talented than the head disciple of my Sky-Flying Devil Martial School. The Black Crow Man complimented. The Fire Spirit shook his head. "There is still a long way to go. I think only the last hidden dragon rank warrior from the South Rudra region could catch up with Xianhou. But it is only a possibility, since Xianhou had already reached the astral reaching realm at the age of 18. No one in the whole True Spirit continent had ever broken this record. In the past 1,000 years, no one had been able to do it. No one had been able to do it in the past 1,000 years. It is indeed the highest honor. But, Xianhou is a special case after all. Judging from the number and quality of the martial geniuses, this generation is indeed the peak. Soon, the food and drinks were served. The two ate and chatted at the same time. They were only 500 miles away from the gold tripod city. Yi Chen and the beautiful lady had once again fallen into a crisis. This time, they were facing a top-rank 6 beast, the Iron Scale Beast, which looked like a dog and was covered in black scales. Arc Light Rain Cut. The lady extended her body, waving the curved blade in her hand for hundreds of times within a second. Countless arc-shaped blade chi landed on the Iron Scale Beast's body like a heavy rain. Ding! Dang! Countless sparks appeared. The lady's blade chi could only leave a slight mark on the Iron Scale Beast's body. She could not even break its scales. We can't do it anymore. This Iron Scale Beast is not as powerful as the Wind Wolf, but it is still not something we can handle. Yi Chen's body kept moving, looking for the weak spots of the Iron Scale Beast. Hearing her, he said, 500 miles is not that far. You go to the gold tripod city first, I will stall the beast. The Iron Scale Beast did not have the bloodline of an ancient beast, so it could not be counted as a tyrant of the rank 6 beasts. But, normal peak-level late-clasping Yuan Realm warriors would have a high chance of dying if they encountered it. Only martial geniuses who had trained even more powerful martial skills would be able to beat it. Of course, some peak-level late-clasping Yuan Realm warriors who had no hope of reaching the astral reaching realm and had spent a lot of time studying powerful martial skills could also beat it, or even kill it. However, one of them was a mid-clasping Yuan Realm warrior, and the other was a peak-level early-clasping Yuan Realm warrior. In terms of cultivation, they were completely suppressed by the Iron Scale Beast. In terms of power, they were also completely suppressed. If it were not for Yi Chen's flying art, which allowed him to create Jinqi shadows to confuse his opponent, he would have been torn into pieces already. The lady was shocked. You can handle it by yourself? I have more than 50% chance of escaping. Yi Chen said. After hesitating for a while, the lady said, My name is Guolanhua, one of the attendants of the Moon Pavilion. This time, I owe you a favor. If you have any trouble in the future, you can come find me at the Moon Pavilion. She knew that Yi Chen's flying art was very powerful. If he was alone, he would have a great chance of escaping. If he brought her along, it would be troublesome. You be careful. Pushing her Jinqi, Guolanhua extended her body and flew out like a flying bird. Roar! The Iron Scale Beast was annoyed by Yi Chen. Seeing that Guolanhua had escaped from the battle, a red flame flashed through its eyes. It opened its mouth and let out a pile of burning beast chi. Woo! The air twisted intensely as the red beast chi followed right behind Guolanhua. Guolanhua had performed some kind of flying art. Her body flashed once, and she suddenly changed her trajectory. The red beast chi brushed past her and destroyed all of her protective Jinqi. Luckily, it was only the aftermath of the beast chi, which did not hurt her at all. After flashing a couple of times, she had already appeared miles away. Lone Peak Kill. While the Iron Scale Beast was distracted, Yi Chen lifted up his Star Scar sword and stabbed right into the beast's neck. There was a gray spot there, which was indeed its weak spot. Not good. Separate. The Star Scar sword was stuck after piercing 5 inches in. Yi Chen's body shook a little as he separated into 3 Jinqi shadows, while his real body backed out quickly. Boom! 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 The Iron Scale Beast had only used 1 claw attack to tear apart Yi Chen's 3 Jinqi shadows. These days, the Lone Peak Kill has combined another 2 sword movements. Its power has increased tremendously, but it is still not enough to hurt the Iron Scale Beast. The merging speed of the Lone Peak Kill was getting slower and slower. In the first couple of days, he had combined 3 movements in a row, but now, he had only combined 2. Without Yi Chen's expectation, it would be even more difficult for him to combine the 10th and 11th movements. It would not be surprising if the difficulty was doubled. No matter what, with that sword attack, the Iron Scale Beast had still been slightly wounded. Although it was not a big deal, how could it not be angry? It opened its mouth and spewed out beams of red beast chi towards Yi Chen. The huge amount of red beast chi looked like a perfect balsam flower in the air, with a huge attacking range. There was nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. Yi Chen bit on his teeth as he pushed his mysterious Jin Qi with all of his power. He built layers after layers of Jin Qi barriers in front of him, each 1/2 inch thick. Pop! 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 The speed of Yi Chen's Jin Qi barriers could not keep up with the speed of the red beast Qi breaking through. In a split second, only the last 3 Jin Qi barriers were left. The remaining power of the red beast Qi had not disappeared yet, and it continued to break through the defense. Meanwhile, the iron scale beast had already jumped over. It raised its right claw and attacked towards Yi Chen. One sword attack. Holding the sword with both of his hands, Yi Chen had never been so focused before. His whole soul seemed to have been infused with the sword aura and sword intent. He threw out a sword attack towards the red beast Qi and the iron scale beast. Chin! The second the Jin Qi barrier disappeared, the sword light shone even brighter. It was like a blue lightning striking down, clashing with the iron scale beast's huge claw. Sparks flew everywhere as Yi Chen was blown away, puking out a mouthful of blood. Surprisingly, the iron scale beast could not stop its body either, and was forced to move back 1/2 meter. Before, Yi Chen's attack could only shake its body slightly, and this time, the sword light was even more powerful. Even Yi Chen did not expect that he would be able to throw out a sword attack like this. I can feel that my sword intent has improved again. If 30% of the sword intent is the entry-level sword intent, then I should be at 40% now. 99% would be the entry-level sword intent, and 100% would be the completion-level sword intent. While his body was being pushed back, many thoughts flashed through Yi Chen's mind. Sword intent was a very mysterious thing. Only those who had the sword intent would be able to sense the level of their own or other people's sword intent. The others could only analyze it through comparison. Just then, when he had completely infused his mind into the sword intent and the sword aura, Yi Chen's sword intent had improved. It seemed to be more concentrated and condensed, and the sword light had become even more powerful. Alright, although a lot of people had died in the beast wave, it was also a good training for me. I might be able to learn the entry-level sword intent in a shorter time. There was no difference in the power of the entry-level sword intent and the completion-level sword intent. However, the completion-level sword intent was the only way to reach a higher level. I made a breakthrough. After realizing what had just happened, Yi Chen suddenly realized that his Jin Qi had been circulating faster. The Jin Qi spiral inside his dantian had expanded, and the color in the center had become even darker. Gradually, it looked like a star, which was the sign of reaching the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Only those who walked out from mountains of corpses and oceans of blood are truly powerful warriors. This saying was not wrong at all. After 1/2 month of killing, Yi Chen had accumulated a lot of power. If he had trained for a while, he would have reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm sooner or later. However, under the pressure of the iron scale beast, his speed had been pushed forward. There was only a slight difference between the mid-clasping Yuan realm and the peak-level early-clasping Yuan realm. However, Yi Chen was already one of the top warriors in all aspects. Even the slightest improvement in his cultivation would have a great impact on his power. With his current power, he could easily beat the iron scale beast before. Right now, the iron scale beast was extremely furious. Burning red beast chi gathered around its body as it jumped towards Yi Chen at an extremely fast speed, trying to kill Yi Chen with one claw attack. Shoo! Its huge body turned into a shooting star. The iron scale beast's speed had suddenly reached beyond the speed of sound. The black scales on its body started to shine with a red light. Great, I also want to see how powerful I am now. Without stepping back, Yi Chen threw out a sword attack with all of his power. As the sword attack was thrown out, a bright blue sword light shone brightly. Even the air had been torn apart, and the space in front of Yi Chen turned into a vacuum. Chapter 204. Boom! Under that sword light, the scales on the iron scale beast's chest had been torn apart. Dark red blood splashed everywhere, and its whole body was blown backwards. While flying backwards, the beast's cold eyes were filled with confusion and confusion. It could not understand why Yi Chen, who was not its opponent before, had suddenly become so powerful. The power of that sword attack had reminded it of the wind wolf, which had the bloodline of ancient beasts. Once, when they were fighting for territory, Yi Chen had broken through its defense with only one claw attack and forced it to run for its life. No matter what, the iron scale beast was still a top-rank 6 beast. It twisted its body and stopped its retreat immediately. The fist-sized scales on its body started to shake together, looking like countless sharp blades. Its already huge body looked even more powerful than before. The iron scale beast roared 3 times, and its neck suddenly thickened. It opened its mouth and shot out an extremely condensed red beast chi towards Yi Chen. The beast chi was like a spear, with the tip of the spear in a spiral shape. Separate. Leaving a Jin Chi shadow where he was standing, Yi Chen's real body drew a perfect arc in the air, attacking the iron scale beast from the side. That kind of speed and smoothness was way beyond what it had been before. Even the iron scale beast thought that the Jin Chi shadow was its real body. The second the Jin Chi shadow was shattered, Yi Chen's attack had also arrived. His star-scar sword carried a sharp light as it pierced through the beast's neck. Blood puked out. The iron scale beast felt like its throat was blocked by someone. It wanted to scream, but it could not. Its body was like a sieve, shaking non-stop. Cut! With the increase of his cultivation, the power of his one-sword kill had increased drastically. The sword sliced through the wound of the iron scale beast, leaving behind a 3-foot-long wound. That sword attack should have been enough to blow away the iron scale beast, but it was unexpectedly able to withstand the impact and raise up its 3 to 4 meters long right claw, attacking towards Yi Chen. That sharp claw light tore through the air, and the sharp screeching sound could almost shatter people's eardrums. Yi Chen turned his left palm into a fist and performed the 4th movement of the Tyrant Fist art, attacking towards the right claw of the iron scale beast. With a thunderous sound, the human and the beast backed out at the same time. The difference was that the iron scale beast's body was rolling backwards, while Yi Chen's feet were rubbing against the air, leaving a light white chi wave in the air. Looking at the claw mark on his fist, Yi Chen was shocked. Demonic beasts were best at close combat, and only a small portion of them were good at long-range attacks. The iron scale beast's claw was as hard as a low-rank great weapon, and it contained an extremely hot beast chi. Under one claw attack, even a peak-level late-clasping Yuan Realm warrior would be killed. If it weren't for the fact that the 4th movement of the Tyrant Fist art was as powerful as a mid-rank Earth Realm martial skill, and that he had trained the King Kong Jade body and added the sword intent to his fist, that claw attack would have shattered his left arm completely. I mainly train sword arts, so I don't need a lot of fist arts. But the Tyrant Fist art is obviously not able to keep up with me. I have to find another high-rank fist art to replace it. Or when I have enough knowledge, I can combine the 4 movements of the Tyrant Fist art into one. That way, it would have the power of a high-rank Earth Realm martial skill. Thinking about that, Yi Chen's body kept flashing. For Jin Chi shadows appeared one after another, and his real body appeared on the right side of the iron scale beast within a second, stabbing into its eye. The killing intent of the lone peak kill was way too sharp. The iron scale beast was confused by the Jin Chi shadow for a second, then under the effect of the killing intent, it could not move at all. By the time it was able to control its body perfectly, the sword tip had already pierced into its eye socket. Swoosh! Pulling out his star-scar sword, Yi Chen backed out quickly. He knew that the iron scale beast, which had lost one eye, would definitely go crazy for a while, so it was not a good idea to get too close to it. He decided to wait for it to use up some of its energy before finishing it off. Just as expected, the pain of having its left eye pierced enraged the iron scale beast. Its remaining eye instantly turned red, glowing with a blood-red light. Immediately after, the red demonic aura on its body was like boiling water, violently fluctuating and soaring into the sky. Shoo! A red light flashed in the air, and the iron scale beast appeared in front of Yi Chen within a second, landing a claw on his head. His head had been shattered, but it was not Yi Chen's real body. Yi Chen's real body was behind the iron scale beast, and he stabbed into its back leg. The iron scale beast was about to go crazy. The wind wolf could beat it because it was powerful enough, while Yi Chen's power was obviously not that much more powerful than it, but he was still able to suppress it completely. The scales on its body suddenly stood up. The iron scale beast shook its body, and countless sharp scales shot out in all directions, making a continuous swooshing sound. After stabbing the beast's hind limb, Yi Chen had already stepped back 100 meters away. Although the scales were still flying at him, they were still too far away. Therefore, they were blocked by Yi Chen's sword light and his protective Zhenqi layer. The scales fell down in all directions, unable to hurt him at all. The iron scale beast had not reached the point where it could grow scales all at once. With so many scales shooting out at once, many parts of its body were bare, and its defense had dropped drastically. Following the muscles and bones, Yi Chen found the second fatal weakness of the iron scale beast, which was a light-colored line on its back. Tornado broken clouds. With this discovery, Yi Chen came up with a battle plan. He waved his star-scar sword in the air, and the sword chi rose up, bringing up a tornado that was powerful enough to cut through steel. It wrapped around Yi Chen and attacked towards the iron scale beast. After shooting out the scales, the iron scale beast's body froze, and it was sucked into the tornado. Kill! In the upper half of the tornado, Yi Chen held the sword with both of his hands and stabbed into the light-colored line. It went 3 feet deep, and then he pulled it back, cutting open the back of the iron scale beast along the light-colored line. The iron scale beast screamed into the sky. It tried its best to struggle, trying to get rid of Yi Chen. However, the star-scar sword had been stabbed deep into its body, so how could it get rid of Yi Chen easily? Its life force and stamina started to leak out like a broken balloon. After a few blinks of an eye, the iron scale beast's body softened and fell from the sky. Finally dead. Yi Chen could sense that the iron scale beast's life force had been completely drained. Its body was not as tough as before, but a bit soft. It was the sign of losing a huge amount of its beast chi and life force. Without the support of its life force and the powerful beast chi, the iron scale beast's defense was not even as powerful as a rank 4 beast. Boom! The dead body of the iron scale beast smashed a hole on the ground. Yi Chen jumped aside. Waving his star-scar sword, Yi Chen soon took out the beast's inner pellet. After thinking for a while, he also pried out the beast's claws. It was a pure sharp weapon, and with the beast chi it contained, it would not be any weaker than a low-rank great weapon. In this true spirit continent, there were some great weapons that were made from the bones of beasts. Under special circumstances, they could trigger some unexpected effects. Awo! Awo! After collecting all the materials, Yi Chen's ears twitched. From 1,000 miles away, there was a sky-shaking roar. Vaguely, he could even feel that the air flow in the surreal space had increased a lot. It is a rank 7 beast. No, it is a rank 8 beast. Yi Chen's expression changed drastically. A rank 7 beast would be able to kill him within a second, and a rank 8 beast would only need to roar once, and it would probably be able to shatter his soul completely. This small beast wave was indeed not that simple. Not only were there a lot more rank 7 beasts, even rank 8 beasts had started to appear. It looked like it was going to become a mid-sized beast wave. Extending his body, Yi Chen flew towards the gold tripod city. On the wall of the gold tripod city, there were a lot of astral reaching realm warriors standing on top of it. The Black Crow Man frowned. That roar just now even made me feel a little bit scared. I am afraid it is not a rank 7 beast, but a rank 8 beast. The Fire Spirit said, as long as the rank 9 beasts do not show up, the gold tripod city will be as stable as a mountain. As for the rank 8 beasts appearing in this small beast wave, it is indeed confusing. Perhaps this 100 years is the peak of the beast wave. From the ancient times until now, there had been countless beast waves. From the records, there was a pattern. The beast waves of the same rank would increase or decrease by a certain amount. Once it reached a certain level, it would suddenly increase again, reaching a certain peak. It should be. Besides a few astral reaching realm warriors on the wall, most of them were clasping Yuan realm warriors. Look! The young generation has finally arrived. The beast tide this time isn't that dangerous. The surrounding large sects will definitely send the best of the younger generation to participate in the battle. Only through endless battles can one make breakthroughs faster and improve further. That is the head disciple Meng Chao and the second disciple Tian Hao from the rank 7 martial institution, the Alchemist Martial School. Meng Chao was ranked 40 in the last hidden dragon rank. His power is even more powerful than a lot of older clasping Yuan realm warriors. The head disciple of the Green Eagle Palace is here as well. And the 4th Knight and the 6th Knight of the Moon Pavilion's 7 Knights are here as well. These two do not belong to any martial institutions. They are purely young warriors trained by the Moon Pavilion. However, they did not make it to the last hidden dragon rank. I heard that their power is not below the top 40, and they might be able to make it to the top 30. As time went on, the young warriors started to show up one after another, including Tian Hao, who had just parted ways with Yi Chen. His power was considered average among this group of people. A few of them had even shocked the clasping Yuan realm warriors on the wall. The most outstanding ones would be the 4th Knight and the 6th Knight of the Moon Pavilion. These two were both mid-clasping Yuan realm warriors. They had a cold expression on their faces, and the qi coming from their bodies was extremely sharp. What a disappointment. I thought I would be able to find some interesting young warriors in the Gold Tripod City. The 6th Knight was a teenager. His eyes were slightly squinted like a poisonous snake. Guolanhua chuckled, the news of the beast wave had just spread out not long ago. I am afraid those who are far away would not be able to come. As she spoke, she thought of Yi Chen. This guy was not even 18 years old, and he was extremely talented in battling. Unfortunately, his cultivation was still a bit low, and he did not have enough experience. If he could join the Moon Pavilion, he would only be a backup member of the 7 Knights. Once he was powerful enough, he would be able to compete for the official members. The 7 Knights was a group of 7 young warriors. Every one of them was a top warrior among the young generation. Right now, 3 of them were from other martial institutions, and the other 4 were trained by the Moon Pavilion itself. The 4th Knight and the 6th Knight were indeed the young warriors trained by the Moon Pavilion. They were quite valued by the leader of the pavilion. This time, when the beast wave broke out, they had been sent over immediately. The tall and cold-looking 4th Knight said lightly, "Our battle will be in the next hidden dragon rank. This is just an appetizer. No need to care too much." Chapter 205. Guolanhua said, "All right, let's go into the city first." She had come out of the city to greet the two when she saw them coming. After all, in the Moon Pavilion, Chiye's status was even higher than the manager, which meant that he did not care about anything. Shoo! 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 The 3 of them extended their bodies and flew onto the city wall directly. Tian Hao, you said that the person who saved your life was almost as powerful as me. Are you kidding me? What was his rank in the last hidden dragon rank? Meng Chao looked at Tian Hao with a sneer. In the Alchemist Martial School, he was always the one with the most power. Therefore, he must be jealous of him and wanted to find someone to beat him up. Tian Hao said, "If I am not wrong, he will definitely come to the Gold Tripod City as well. By then, we will know for sure." Meng Chao said in disdain, "If it were 2 years ago, I might not be his opponent. But after 2 years, my power has not only increased by a little, but more than 2 times. The top martial art in our martial school, the high-rank Earth Realm martial art, the Red Burning Great Art, has also been trained to the 9th level by me. What does he have to compete with me? As for the sword intent you mentioned, it is not even worth mentioning. In the last hidden dragon rank competitions, I had beaten a sword artist who had the sword intent. Perhaps for most of the people, the sword intent was very rare and powerful. But for the young warriors who were ranked in the hidden dragon rank, there were way too many people who had the sword intent. Not to mention the older generation, there were already more than 10 young warriors who had the sword intent. There might even be some of them who did not participate in the competitions because they were not powerful enough. Therefore, for Meng Chao, what he cared about was power. He did not care about the sword intent or the blade intent or anything else. Tian Hao said, "You will know when you see him." Actually, he was not sure if Yi Chen could win against Meng Chao. As the head disciple of the alchemist martial school, Meng Chao had trained all the top martial arts in the martial school, such as the high-rank Earth Realm martial art, Red Great Art, which only a few core elders were qualified to train. Even he was not qualified. Besides that, Meng Chao's martial art was the Red Great Palm Art, which came with the Red Great Palm Art. Both of them complemented each other, and their combined power was far more powerful than two high-rank Earth Realm martial arts. As for mentioning Yi Chen's name, it was a slip of the tongue. Therefore, he had no choice but to keep it up. After all, Yi Chen was indeed powerful. A normal rank 6 beast could not even take one sword attack from him. The supreme elder of the alchemist faction said, "All right, stop talking. Tian Hao, it's not that I want to criticize you, but your first senior brother's strength is obvious to all. Not everyone can surpass him." Yes. Since the Grand Elder had spoken, Tian Hao didn't dare to talk back. Dozens of famous young warriors landed on top of the city wall. They looked at each other with a strong fighting intent. The sixth knight glanced at Meng Chao and said with an evil smile, "Among all of us, he is the only one with some power. I wonder if he can exchange a few attacks with me." Guo Lanyue smiled helplessly. The 7 knights in the Moon Pavilion all had their own characteristics. The sixth knight's specialty was his coldness and arrogance. However, he was indeed powerful. Even Guo Lanyue couldn't handle 3 attacks from him, and that was when he had not used all of his power. The fourth knight said calmly, "The powerful one is here." Yeah! The sixth knight and Guo Lanyue followed his gaze and looked out of the city. In the wilderness, a figure with a pair of black wings was flying towards them at an extreme speed. That pair of wings was about 4 to 5 meters long, and it looked so real. The sharp feathers were clearly visible. Wherever it went, the air around it was cut open. Its speed was even faster than the speed of sound, and it was not just a little bit. The fire spirit focused his eyes and laughed, "Black Crow, your disciple is here." The Black Crow man laughed, "This brat, he is just hanging around. I thought he was training hard in the Sky-Flying Demon Martial School. Don't be so dissatisfied. Your disciple has trained the same martial art as you, the Black Crow Great Art. He should have reached the 10th realm by now, right? He was only at the 10th realm 3 months ago." Hee, the Black Crow Great Art is a high-rank Earth Realm martial art. It has 13 realms in total. Training to the 10th realm would almost be able to reach the top 20 of this year's Hidden Dragon rank. While the two were talking, the battling intent of the young generation had been ignited. Meng Chao stared at the winged teenager and said word by word, "The 25th of the Hidden Dragon rank, Wu Liangyu. This time, I will definitely fight you to see who is better." In the last Hidden Dragon rank competitions, he had lost to 3 people. One of them was indeed the disciple of the Black Crow man, Wu Liangyu, who was ranked 25th in the Hidden Dragon rank. He was a famous warrior in the whole South Ridra region. The great master of the alchemist martial school said, "I am afraid his Black Crow Great Art has been trained to the 10th realm. If you can also train your Red Burning Great Art to the 10th realm, you will have a great chance to beat him." Meng Chao said, "My Red Burning Great Art and Red Burning Great Palm Art are a set of martial arts. The power they can bring out is extremely powerful. With my current power, I might be able to beat him." The elder shook his head. It would be difficult, very difficult. The Black Crow Great Art was different from the other high-rank Earth Realm martial arts. Not only was it extremely fast, but the attacking power of that pair of wings was also very high. It was way harder than the Great Steel, only slightly weaker than a low-rank Great Weapon. Among the same rank martial arts, it was almost one of the top ones. On the other side, Wu Liangyu, I am not his opponent. Out of Guo Lanyue's expectation, the sixth knight admitted that he was not Wu Liangyu's opponent. Guo Lanyue said, although our Moon Pavilion is not a martial institution, we are way more powerful than the normal rank 7 martial institutions. In some aspects, we are even more powerful than the rank 6 martial institutions. As long as you guys work hard enough, the Moon Pavilion will definitely support you with all of our power. We will spread the name of Wu Liangyu across the whole South Rudra region, and even the whole True Spirit continent. The fourth knight did not say anything. She was trying to figure out Wu Liangyu's power from his qi. Eventually, she came to the conclusion that Wu Liangyu's power should be able to compete with the third knight. As for herself, she might not lose to him either. Half a year ago, she had battled with the third knight, and she had only lost to him by 1 attack. Shoo! The pitch-black wings retracted, and Wu Liangyu appeared right next to the Black Crow Man. He said with respect, "Teacher." The Black Crow Man nodded, "You came at the right time. After this beast wave battle, I hope you can learn more." "I will. This year's Hidden Dragon rank competition, my goal is to be in the top 10. Good. Ambitious. But, ambition alone is not enough. There are countless martial geniuses in the whole South Rudra region, and you are not the only one who has improved. Everyone is working hard to train. Also, let me introduce you. This is the fire spirit that I have always told you about. He is my opponent. Greetings, fire spirit." After greeting, Wu Liangyu looked around. Other than pausing slightly on the fourth knight, he completely ignored everyone else. Wu Liangyu is here as well. He is the third disciple of the Sky-Flying Devil Martial School. His talent is only below the head disciple, the Demon Eye, and the second disciple, Murong Qingqing. What I am curious about is that Murong Qingqing's rank is even lower than Wu Liangyu's. Why is she the second disciple of the Sky-Flying Devil Martial School? Normally, the second disciple should be Wu Liangyu. I do not know about that either. Maybe there is something else. Do not underestimate Murong Qingqing. I have watched the last Hidden Dragon rank competition, and Murong Qingqing did not seem to use all of her power. Plus, the martial art that she has trained is even more powerful than the Black Crow Great Art. It is one of the top 2 martial arts of the Sky-Flying Devil Martial School, the Sky Demon Great Art. Wu Liangyu's arrival had raised the discussion on the city wall. Another young warrior has come. Who is that? His cultivation is quite good, at the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Some of the people had sharp eyes. They immediately saw a very young figure flying towards them from 8 miles away. Although his speed was not as fast as Wu Liangyu, his cultivation was not that far off. I have never seen him before. I think he is a new warrior who has just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, his cultivation is quite good. I wonder about his battling power. Among the young generation, battling power is the most important thing. Cultivation is the last thing. Hearing the people talking, Tian Hao could not help but look over. He could not help but say, "He is Yi Chen, brother Yi." Meng Chao said, "No wonder you are so impressed with him. He is a mid-clasping Yuan realm warrior. But, cultivation is nothing." Without arguing with Meng Chao, Tian Hao waved at Yi Chen, "Brother Yi, over here." Flying in the air, Yi Chen heard Tian Hao's voice. He hesitated a little bit, but still shot towards that direction. His body dragged out an extremely thin chi wave in the air. The second Yi Chen got close to the city wall, Meng Chao took a step forward and said lightly, "Let me test him. I want to see how weak the person you admire is." Boom! A red fire wave shot out of Meng Chao's body, attacking towards Yi Chen. Wherever the fire wave went, the air was evaporated, turning into a vacuum. Break! Yi Chen did not change his expression. His palm was like a blade, cutting on the fire wave. Swoosh! The fire wave was cut open, and Yi Chen's body had already landed next to Tian Hao. Tian Hao said to Meng Chao with a bit of anger, "Meng Chao, what is the meaning of this?" Meng Chao did not care about Tianhao's attitude. He studied Yi Chen and said, "Not bad. You managed to break through one of my random attacks. You do have some skills." Yi Chen said lightly, "I see. No wonder you are so weak." "You?" Meng Chao's eyes darkened. How could he not understand what Tianhao meant? He was saying that his random attack was very weak. "Brother Yi, let's talk over here." Tianhao did not want Meng Chao and Yi Chen to have a conflict because of him. He had already blamed himself for spilling the beans earlier. "All right." Yi Chen walked past Meng Chao and stood next to Tianhao. "I hope you can be just as powerful on the battlefield." Meng Chao was not the kind of person who would try to beat his opponent out of impulse. For him, the main purpose of this trip was to fight against the beasts. During the battle, everyone's power would be revealed. After all, there would not be millions of beasts, but millions of them. Without a certain power, it would be very hard for them to win. Who was weaker and who was more powerful would be revealed. How is this possible? That little brat has reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm. As someone who had been with Yi Chen for half a month, Guolanyue was very shocked. A couple of hours ago, he was still at the peak level early clasping Yuan realm, but after a couple of hours, he had reached the mid-clasping Yuan realm. Judging solely on his training speed, it was definitely shocking. He had probably reached his limit during the tough battle against the iron scale beasts. Alright, the 4th and 6th Knights of the Moon Pavilion are here. With them here, this little brat would definitely feel a lot of pressure. He might even join the Moon Pavilion and try his best to become an official member of the 7 Knights to prove his power. A smile appeared on the corner of Guolanyue's mouth. She was in a good mood. "You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.